So if you're struggling to trade and you're not consistently profitable, then you need to watch my strategy. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what it is. I'm going to show you all the trades I took last week. I'm going to show you why I've got an 80% win rate, and I'm going to show you why I got over 100k of payouts last year, and I'm going to get loads more this year. This is my strategy. It's really very simple. All I look for is a sweep of liquidity, and then I'm looking for an inverse to the upside, and I'm looking to take it. It's really this simple. And I manage my risk really well. This is what I do. So, very, very simple stuff. As you can see, this is the first example. I'm looking for a sweep. I'm looking for a bullish reaction. I'm looking for good momentum. I'm looking for a fair value gap that can inverse. I'm looking for a 1R first TP. I'll scale and go break even. And then I just target liquidity with runners. Liquidity with runners. And it's that simple, guys. This is my strategy. Generally speaking, I like to go for a 3-candle pattern V-shape. These are the best. This is what you want to do. This is my strategy. It's very simple. It's super obvious. I've got my hood up because my hair's crazy today because I washed it and it's gone all funny. As you can see here, this is it. It's super simple. Anyone could do this. What have we got here? We've got ourselves a 3-candle pattern V-shape after a sweep and a bullish reaction on the 5-minute, which has higher probability because it's a higher time frame with more orders involved. We've got a beautiful, beautiful 3-candle pattern V-shape here. Now, interestingly on this one, everyone would say, oh, well, we've inversed the 5-minute to the downside. But if you look, this is a BPR, and a BPR is 2 fair value gaps stacked on top of each other like this, right? So if we inverse this back to the upside, what does this say about order flow? What does this say about price? It says to me that we're very bullish because we come down here and there's a 15-minute gap down here like this. We bounce out the 15-minute gap. We're in a 4-hour, we're in a daily and a 1-hour gap. And we bounce out of this gap and look at this momentum. We inverse this BPR. And I'm thinking, we've also got a really, really obvious, like I said, I like to target liquidity. Look what we've got. This is super obvious liquidity. These kind of trend lines, they get taken 9 out of 10 times. So if you can target trend lines like this and manage your risk, you will be profitable. And this is my whole strategy. Sweep of liquidity that we created before open. We get the Judas swing up, we get the swing down, we take the liquidity and then look at the reaction out of this 15-minute gap, which is here. Really, really, really bullish reaction. Super, super obvious. I was always going to take this, and then like I said, I'll enter on the inversion here. Really, really easy. Like literally, all you do is just set alerts at these lows, wait for them to get hit and see if you can take inverses. You don't have to sit at the charts all day. You don't have to sit there going, oh, I don't know if the trade's going to work out. You just take the probabilities. As you can see, this was an absolutely ridiculous trade. I was initially only targeting this trend line here because I figured this would work. So, like I said, I enter on the inverse. I risk about $200 per trade, copy traded on 30 accounts. So I like to take good setups because obviously I'm trading with a lot of capital, all stacked up. And you can see here, this was just a really good trade. It went straight up to 1R, at which point I scaled some. Went straight up to the high, which was around 2R. I scaled some and I left a runner thinking we might be able to go and hit this unfilled 1-hour gap, which was a good draw on liquidity, which was here. And then we hit the gap and we went bang all the way up. And I ended up taking a ridiculously huge 7 or 8R win on my runner on Lucid Flex accounts, which don't have consistency on funded. So I took like over $1,000 on this trade per account on Lucid Flexes, which was wild. This is one of the best trades I've ever taken, ever. And it was so simple. All I did was enter, scale on the way up, and then leave a runner in case we did something crazy, and we did. It was absolutely fantastic. This was the trade that I took on Thursday. Friday was obviously a bank holiday, there were no trades. I'm going to go back and I'm going to show you the rest of the trades I took. We've got a 2-minute here. This was the next trade I took. Shall I bring this across so you can see? I think it's worthwhile. This was the next trade I took. Absolute banger. Really bullish on the day. Looking for buys. I'm always looking for buys because I'm a permabull. Don't really take shorts unless they're absolutely insanely god tier. Let's look at my criteria for a trade. What have we got? We've got ourselves a beautiful sweep of liquidity. Lo and behold, we've got some really obvious lows here. We come down and sweep. And then look what happens. We get a 3-candle pattern V-shape back to the upside. Let's bring this in so you can see it. We've got ourselves a 3-candle pattern V-shape. Moving everything around. You can see here we've got a really, really obvious 3-candle pattern V-shape here, which is excellent. We've got a sweep, bullish reaction, good momentum to the upside. fair value gap obviously with the 3 candle pattern V shape. So I enter here. I'm looking to enter and just hit a 1R initially, which we hit straight away. So I scaled a bit there, went break even on the rest, and as we can see, we came up to this area where we formed an obvious trend line. Like I said, these are really good areas to target for liquidity. We come back up through this area. I knew that this was going to hit, so I was holding at least for this high. That was a 3 or 4R at that point, at which point I was basically just scaled out most, and I held a runner for the final target, which was this high here. Really, really simple, easy way to trade. No need to overcomplicate things. This is just this was just a great trade in general as well. Pretty much as good as it gets in terms of just sweeper liquidity, 3 candle pattern V shape, really instantaneous bullish reaction back up. We've got liquidity formed here. We've got obvious highs up here that we can target for runners. Just an absolutely beautiful trade. Really simple. Things do not have to be complicated. It really can be that simple. There's another one here which I wish I'd taken, but it was in Asia session, and sadly I do not trade Asia session because I was asleep. Because as you can probably tell, I'm from the UK and I can't trade Asia session because this is like half one in the morning. But you can see this is another good trade. Obvious trend line of liquidity formed here. We come down, we sweep liquidity again. As you can see, this is super obvious. Let me go back and snatch myself the rules. These are my criteria for entering a trade. Really obvious stuff again. Sweep. Good reaction here. This wasn't a 3 candle pattern V shape, but I still thought this would work because we did inverse this really obvious gap here. You can see it took a little while to play out, but we did go up and hit the 1R at some point here. Went break even on the rest, and then I was just targeting up through this trend line here. I would have left a runner. This is what I would do. And as you can see, this was another really amazing trade. Super good trade. There was another one here on the 1 minute, which was the day before. This is the last one I'll show you, but I think you're starting to get the idea. But you can see this was the 2 minute one that I just talked about. This was the 2 minute, and then there was a 1 minute here as well. Let's take a look at this one. Exactly the same premise again. So we've got ourselves a really big swing to the downside. We create a low here. We come down again, tap this low. We don't get the inverse here. There's nothing to inverse. We get the manipulation leg of the low again. We come up and we get the 3 candle pattern V shape after sweeping the low and the manipulation leg. I was always going to take this because the risk to reward is obviously really good, and as I said, every single time when you've got a trend line above like this tends to be really good liquidity. As you can see, this did eventually get all taken, but I was mostly out of my position at this point. But you can see here again, what has it got? We've got sweep, bullish reaction, good momentum, inverted fair value gap, 3 candle pattern V shape. You go 1R for your first TP, which hit basically instantly. Take some off here, leave liquidity for runners, probably take some off at this high here, halfway up the trend line. When you start seeing that reaction there, I'd probably scale most of my position, because obviously you would expect this to get ran pretty quickly, especially going into the macro, where you do tend to see liquidity getting ran. But this did eventually get ran here a bit later on. As you can see, this is the 1 minute, and we did get ourselves that high eventually, and this was another great trade. So if you do want to get alerts and signals for the trades that I take, every single trade that I take, I do alert in my private Discord. You can get it in the description below. As always, I appreciate you watching. I hope you learned something from this, and please ask me questions in the comments, like and subscribe and all that, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.